the government's looking at doing its own inquiry into the landslide. The Tauranga District Council had already announced its own independent inquiry, but the Prime Minister says there's a potential conflict given they own the campground. Senior reporter Juliet Speedy has the latest.
The deadly Mt Maunganui slip now has a growing list of questions. 5 days on, the government has announced it will look at doing its own inquiry into the events.
There are many questions being asked, including whether there was a missed opportunity to evacuate people sooner. 6 families are grieving the unimaginable loss of their loved one, and they deserve answers. Investigations
by WorkSafe and the Tauranga District Council are already underway, but the council owns the campground, so could have a conflict of interest. Luxon says the families deserve an independent government response and has appointed MP Chris Pink to look into it.
There's potentially an inherent conflict between the ownership of the campground and the council, but it's also coming from conversations directly with families that Mark and I had in the last 48 hours with people in Tauranga at the Mount, and their big desire is to actually understand what did happen here.
Both the Prime Minister and I have spent a lot of time with the families, and we've talked about a lot of things, and we've taken on board and listened to their feedback, which is obviously critically important. And for the country as well.
Knowing how long some of these inquiries can take, it is likely that we will continue with our review. As governors and the governors behind me, we need to know the answers, and we need the community to understand the timelines of what happened.
Bay of Plenty District Commander Tim Anderson said today police are concerned and are looking into any criminal liability, which one expert says has the scope to prosecute individuals.
The police will be looking firstly to see whether there has been any criminal behaviour, so whether that's manslaughter, whether that's criminal negligence. It's not likely to be, criminal nuisance. It's not meant to be likely to be anything else. They're also going to be gathering evidence, though, on behalf of the coroner for any future coronial inquiry that might take place.
But Grant Nicholson doubts there will be a prosecution.
I think it's unlikely that you'll end up seeing anybody facing criminal responsibility based on what we know at the moment. Never say never, but that would seem unlikely. It would need to be particular individuals who knew that there was a significant risk of landslide here and whom they may not have acted as they needed reasonably to act.
He says stories of officials allegedly being warned hours before of problems is not a high enough threshold.
The threshold would really require that people had a direct call of knowledge of something that they understood that could cause harm to others, and then didn't take steps in light of that knowledge.
The mourning in Mt Maunganui continues, but so does the growing need for answers.